Welcome to a Thirsty Thursday, a Throwback Thursday. We're getting close to the weekend. Look at this bad hair day. Holy shit! This is got some stuff going. Today's going to be a hat day. Today will be a hat day. Very good. I, like many days, don't really have much to. I have a lot to say. I always have a lot to say. I just don't have a topic. Just don't have a specific topic. But I've had some mail days. In fact, one of the mail days I think I got like 3 weeks ago, but I finally opened it. So I'm going to share some of my mail days. I've hit a couple milestones recently. As David, what's happening? Good morning. He says, congratulations on 3K subscribers. I surpassed 3,000 YouTube subscribers, which is shocking to me. My goal this year, though, was to hit 5,000, which I'm not really, and I wrote down, my whiteboard is like, is very ADD. I still have on my whiteboard in front of me the last 10 sales for Wander Franco Top Series 1 rookie cards, which, by the way, the Saturday of release day in 2022, when the hell was it? The average price was $14.52. April 16th, which would have been 2 months after release, Wander Franco rookie cards were still averaging over $10, almost $11 per rookie card out of Top Series 1. Now they're a couple bucks, which is what most of us expected. So speaking of my whiteboard, though, to grow 5,000 to 5,000 YouTube subscribers, I needed to do more eBay-specific videos and not like Hobby Evolution eBay, because then people complain that I don't get to the topic. And shorts. Shorts really haven't been doing it for me, but I'm not consistent with shorts. And I need to be more consistent with shorts. So I've been trying to, not hard enough, but I've been trying to put more videos out there that are non-Hobby Evolution videos, because I knew, I might grow based on my topics. I might grow some subscribers based on Hobby Evolution, but not as fast as doing like, here's why you shouldn't sell low dollar singles on eBay, which, holy crap, that Hobby Evolution episode from Tuesday, whenever it was, has like over 1,200 views, which is like smashed the Hobby Evolution viewing record. So over 3,000 subs now. As people have mentioned, it's more about viewing and views, but it's nice to have that subscriber total, because usually when you have more subscribers, it means more views. Not all the time, but it's kind of like in eBay. Impressions are nice, but sales are nicer, right? But the more impressions typically lead to more views and more sales. That's kind of like subscribers leads to more subscribers, leads to more views, leads to more ad revenue. So thank you, David. Another milestone reached. Officially reached. Now, a couple weeks ago, actually probably now a couple months ago, I put 901,000 on my, or actually I think it's 900,127 on my Cubs cardometer that I took to a couple card shows. That was just like a guesstimate based on unopened mail. It was not close. It is now, since it's taken a couple months, but I've now officially surpassed 900,000 Cubs cards. Thank you to, and I apologize, and I should have messaged him yesterday because he's on Twitter. In his first sentence, sorry for the delay. Well, and I'm going to reciprocate. Sorry for the delay. Your box has been sitting in my SUV for 3 weeks. Prof. Reed V. Dunn. So I'm going to reach out to you. I don't know if he watches the show, but thank you. There's some great stuff that I'm going to show off. Some great stuff in that box. There were, I think, about 3,500 Cubs cards in his large flat rate, which that officially took me over 900,000. The official count I had a sneezing attack just before I went live, so that's why I'm sniffling. Hopefully it just goes away. Because I don't have any hankies in here. 901,829. 901,829 is the official count. However, I have another flat rate box in my car that I haven't opened yet. So, and I still have several piles from the Goodwill pallet now. I have several boxes still to sort through, but it's like it's a lot of junk wax era, so it's kind of it's at the very bottom, like rainy day. Hey, let's go sort some of this junk, pull the cubs, and bulk out the rest. So probably unofficially, I'm around 9. This thing is just bothering the crap out of me. Whatever's going on with, do I have a hat? I need to keep a hat on hand in case of bad hair days. But I'd say unofficially around 905,000 Cubs cards. Officially, 901,829. Where are we at? Shane, good morning. David in the house, reppin' Rajon Rondo is here, says happy Friday's Eve. Which to me, normally it's like, hey, actually, you know what? Every day is. I was telling people when I went home for Anawan Fun Days a couple weeks ago, I said, they were asking me about how selling baseball cards is and like working for yourself, all that stuff. And it was Sunday when I was uptown. And, and I think I mentioned this before. I will continue uptown Anawan, even though they put downtown in the Anawan Fun Days program book. It says downtown Anawan. That just doesn't sound right. It's uptown. Anyway, I was uptown on Sunday afternoon. And, people have to go back to work Monday. And, but a lot of people in Anawan take Monday off because you have a lot of fun on fun days, just like I did. And, I said, the real bummer is Fridays just don't really mean much. Fridays are just another day. Like I remember Friday being like, oh man, it's Friday. And it's like, kick back, go stop at the liquor store, grab a sixer, hit that patio on a warm, sunny day, summer sunny day. It's like, it's Friday. I don't get that now. It's like, it's kind of like in the Wayne's World movie. Hey, we're in Delaware. That's what Friday's like for me. Hey, it's Friday. But I look forward to Mondays now. It's kind of but the Monday makes up for the Friday, right? The Sunday night dread of, oh shit, I've got to go back to work tomorrow. No longer there. In fact, I look forward to Mondays now because a lot of times I don't do much on the weekends outside of shipping and listing and shipping, or if I do a card show. So it's like, I kind of want to get back to my routine, which is about the same as it is any other day on the weekends, except I sleep in on the weekends. I never slept in on the weekends. I mean, sometimes I did when I worked at the office. In fact, I usually woke up early. I think this is a telltale sign that you don't like your job. When you actually wake up earlier on the weekends than during the work week. Like I'm staying in bed every last second of the work week. Oh, dreading getting up and going into the office. It's not like that anymore. So, where was I? Happy Friday's Eve. Dan, good morning to you. Good evening, I should say. Uncle Rich is here. Good morning to you. Joe Olivo, what's happening? Victor's in the house. Donald Davis, good morning. Alex, what's happening? Card Hobbyist is here. Redbridge Sports Cards, good morning. Reppin' Rajon says, people complained? No way. I was annoyed yesterday in my Cubs chat. And I was annoyed because today, and this is also when you work at home and work for yourself, you forget what day it is. Today's Thursday. It's not just like an old people thing. It's a not going into the office thing. Tuesday night's lineup, the Cubs lineup was I'm at the point where the Cubs suck, right? It doesn't matter what lineup they put out. Like a month ago, I was bitching about lineups. Now, like Matt Mervis is hitting 165. Morel went through like a stretch where he was batting 040. 040. So it's like, well, if you put those guys in the lineup, I can't believe Miles Mastrobuoni's in the DH spot. And that was probably the most bitched about lineup this year for the Cubs. And they won 11-3 against the team that's in first place in the National League Central Division. Surprisingly, the Pittsburgh. This is how bad the NL Central is. The Pittsburgh Pirates, the first place Pittsburgh Pirates. They won 11-3. So it's like, okay, yeah, you get the bitching out of your system. But then the following day, yesterday, somebody brings it up in the Cubs chat. And it's like, but they won by 8 runs. They scored 11 runs with that lineup. Why are you bitching about it? And then it's like, well, but it just went their way. Well, it did go their way. So there's no reason to. And I just don't understand that type of complaining. And it annoys me. And here I am complaining. I'm complaining about the complaining. But really, I don't get it. And it's like, well, Morel needs to play every day. He did play every day to the tune of batting below 100. Like, not even close to the Mendoza line. Matt Mervis, not even close to the Mendoza line. Like, these guys suck on a daily basis. Now, they are, well, Morel's young. I think he'll turn it around. You know my feelings on Matt Mervis. I think this is who he is. I think he's going to be a AAA superstar in a big league dud. Big league dud. That's Matt Mervis. 4A player. The classic 4A player. But the Cubs won again last night. Yay. We got Stroh on the mound today. Yay. My buddy Marcus Stroman. So, and they're playing the first place. Today Thursday? Today's Thursday. Jesus. I can't remember what freaking day it is. Today's Thursday. So yeah, I think it's Pirates again today. So, hey, they've climbed to 4.5 games out of the division. Here we are on June 15th talking about that. But I think it's important because the sky is falling on Cubs Twitter. And, yet here we are, just a few games behind the division lead. I think this Cubs team, again, and I'm going to stick to it now, the way they've been performing, I'm not too excited about my prediction at the beginning of the year where I said they'd win 84 games and get the second wild card spot. I think maybe I bit off more than I could chew, but it's still well within reach. I think this team is talented enough. Do I think Matt Mervis is a 160 hitter? No, but I think he's a 200 hitter. I think he's a Mendoza line guy. Morel, I think, is... And somebody in my Cubs chat actually brought up a great comp for Christopher Morel, which is unfortunate. Javi Baez. Great comp. It's either... Because Morel has struck out. I don't know. This was before yesterday's game. In 90 at-bats, he had 31 strikeouts. That's not good. But he also has like 12 home runs. That's pretty damn good. That was young Javi Baez. You're going to get a lot of home runs and exciting plays, but you're also going to get a ton of strikeouts. So that was and I didn't even think about that, but now it's like, yeah, you know what? That's pretty spot on comp. So I'm still hopeful. Would I put money on my prediction right now today, June 15th? No. but I still think it's within reach. I mean, here's the frustrating part of this Chicago Cubs team this year. I'm sorry to bore. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to. I'm Canadian now. I'm sorry to bore the non-Cubs fans in the chat and those watching. So I'll wrap it up. But this 2023 Cubs team could lose 100 games and could also win 84 games and get a wild card. With the combination of their talent, but also their talent not performing, and the National League really sucking. The National League sucks this year. It's terrible. So especially the Central Division. So where are we at? So we've got Victor in the house. Donald Davis, good morning. Alex Metz, what's happening? Card Hobbyist, good morning. Red Bridge Sports Cards. Rep and Rajon talking about people complaining. Oh, that's where my tangent went. Where we at? Where'd I leave off? Where did I leave off? Zach and Porter in the house. We've got Mark McGlynn. Buenos dias. What is happening? Alex says, this is the best channel on YouTube. I love this group. Thank you. I appreciate that. We have a lot of fun. Zach and Porter in the house. 3,500 commodities. 3,500. What was my 3,500? Oh, Cubs cards. Those are not commodities, though. Those are Cubs cards. Cubs cards are not commodities. Everything else is. Every other baseball card is a commodity. Andy Max says, I can't wait to see that eBay listing. You need a burqa. Bink Scott says, good morning. Uncle Rich dropped butt rock on an awesome video from Victor, the rookie card ninja. I need to see that. I need to watch that video. I did not have a chance to watch much YouTube yesterday or content yesterday. So I need to tune in because I heard a little birdie mentioned that Rich dropped butt rock. Glad. I'm happy to hear it. So I was just kind of doing all kinds of things yesterday, including checking out the new house. We're getting there, man. We are getting there. We are, yesterday was 1 month from closing this house. So we are under the gun. We are less than a month that we have to get the hell into the new house. We've got to, right now it's, we've got to get this, to occupancy permit level. So that's kind of the goal. I mean, for the most part, we should have it finished. Like, I mean, it's not going to be complete. There's other things that need to be done that can wait, like landscaping. We're going to put a new driveway in, but that can wait. The garage, drywall. We're going to put a new floor in the garage, like one of those overfloor things. I don't know what the hell they call them. So some of that stuff is going to be probably post move-in. But I'm I'm trying to lock in a date where I can put in my order. I'm going to order 10 more of these shelves for my card room. And so I want to get those delivered, and then my handyman / demo guy, I need to line him up to put them together for me. I need some help. He actually put not these together. My wife and I actually put these together, but we've got some in the other room, and we just let's call Mark. So I need to lock in a date for that. But we're getting hardware put on, the drawers, the cabinets. Most of the cabinets are in. Sink is in. The stovetop was delivered, so that's now installed. Trim is getting finished up. The siding is like 99% done, just waiting on a couple like window things getting finished. Roof should be put on, or shingle. The roof was put on yesterday for the screen porch, and I think shingles go on today. So yeah, so it's getting there. It's getting there. I mean, I think we're gonna get this thing done. What was I gonna say? Oh, so we had that boo-boo with the cabinets. Oh, the cabinets around the fireplace still have to go into. So we had that boo-boo where it was like mismeasured. So instead of just tearing it all out and starting over, we reordered cabinets that fit. So we had cabinets that we ordered that don't fit. Guess what? I get them in my office. So I was like, my big question was, what am I going to do? So basically, where Hobby Evolution will be filmed from, in front of a live studio audience in my office downstairs. So I will be like looking like, so in front of me here that you can't see, that will be the window. There'll be a window over here, my desk here. Behind me, like instead of the cards, there will be a wall back there. I'll have a TV. I'll have like cabinets. So the cabinets that were supposed to go on one side of the fireplace, there's 3 cabinets that'll be behind me. So I will probably hang the TV on the wall. And then, so that'll give me cabinet space, and then or top space. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. Like I wanted to do shelves on the wall with, some of my like top cards, but now it's like, well, I have the top of the cabinet. So I've got to figure out what I'm going to do with that. So that's what's going to be behind me. So that'll be, you won't see mounds of cards anymore. You won't see box 13 anymore. So you've only got a month for box 13. So I'm excited for that. Where are we at? Andy Max says for sale 1 million Cubs cards. Zach and Porter says none of this is official until an LRS audit. Only Brian Urlacher has more annoying hair than Bo. Ain't that the truth? At least I'm not on billboards next to O'Hare. Whenever you see me with a hat, it means that I didn't get a shower that morning. Gotta hide the bedhead, right? Yes. That's basically every weekend when I do Hobby Evolution. Just wake up, make coffee, Hobby Evolution. The cardometer should have a sale price listed on it as well. No. Cubs cards are not commodities. Anonymous donation of 1 million Cubs cards at a Madison Goodwill. Oh my God, that would make me sick. Somebody like donated all my Cubs cards. Good morning, Mark Marinello in the house. Days of the week have always been the same for me since I entered the workforce. I'm practically a farmer. And I guess, yeah, if you don't have like a set Monday through Friday schedule, or if you're traveling a lot and work weekends, yeah, I could see that. Nice Wayne's World reference. I live in Aurora, Illinois. Stan Makita's Donuts. Good morning, Kyle Katz. Flawed Thinker in the house. Rich Klein says, getting my car inspected today. Texas may get rid of the annual inspection. What is an annual inspection? I'm for and against it at the same point. I don't think we have annual inspections. If we do, I don't follow them. I just take it in for oil changes. John says, I'm worried about Mark Marinello's mental state. He's taking professional baseball way too seriously. And I made the comment to one of Mark's many New York Mets comments on Facebook. Like, I'd kill to have the Mets record right now. I wouldn't really kill. Let's let's back it up. I wouldn't literally kill. Let's see. New York Mets. Yeah, they're 10 games out of the division. 471. So they're not too far behind the Cubs. I think a few days ago it was the Mets are 2-8. They've only won 2 of their last 10. Cubs have won 5 out of their last 10. So, but at one point 10 games ago it was I would have switched spots. Now looks like the Mets are, and the Cubs are like trying to climb. Always good to save money, but doing that guarantees that each car is at least a minimal condition and they have to have for insurance that period. Yes. There's always the hitch. Opening my Japan package of anime figures. Let's see. Kanukamon, you know him as the main guy from Muscle Figures. What are Muscle Figures? I am not familiar with Muscle Figures and baseball Menkos, nor am I familiar with muscles. Muscle Figures. I've got to Google that. Muscle figures. Is this going to get me in trouble if I Google it? Muscle figures. Oh, those things. Oh, wow. I forgot all about those things. Huh. I didn't know there were main figures. Muscle Men toys. Well, that's cool. Wow, that is a blast from the past. I forgot all about those things. Yeah, I had some of those when I was a kid. Huh. The A's won 7 in a row at one point. That's true. Baseball's a funny game. Baseball's a funny game. Mark says, I'm in mini Mets pages. There's always going to be bitch and moaners. Bo complaining, that's never happened on the show. It's a daily occurrence. Kyle Schwarber doesn't flirt with the Mendoza line. He's revered. There seems to be a mentality in sports fandom that the coach manager is responsible for every loss and the players are responsible for every win. Yes, 100% agree. Like they are separate entities instead of a team. I agree with that 100%. What I've witnessed over the last 2 months with Cubs fandom, there's always a scapegoat. You know, at the beginning of the year, the Cubs weren't winning games because Christopher Morel and Matt Mervis were in AAA. Now they're in the big leagues and batting 160. So now we've got to have something else to blame. Oh, it's David Ross's lineup. But they win by 8 runs. Well, now it's probably Jed Hoyer making David Ross. Like, when is it going to stop? When can we just say the players kind of suck and they're not performing at a big league level? When can we just admit it instead of finding a scapegoat for everything? Well, we lost because. You know what? You lost because of the players not playing well. The other team is better. That's why you're losing. Again, I thought this was an 84-win team. It still could be. I'm not as bullish as I once was. But I've got the Chicago Bears to fall back on because they're going to win 11 games. They're going to win the NFC North, and they are going to make a run in the NFC playoffs. Bear down, Chicago Bears. TD Sports Cards, what's up? Good morning. Schwarbs has 18 home runs and 17 singles. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for Schwarbs. I like that. March Stronin plays baseball for the Ricketts family. I'd love to hear a discussion between those two on the love of America. Bellinger needs to get back, and they don't need to trade him. I agree. I think I'm going to agree. So losing Bellinger did hurt. I don't think Seiya Suzuki's 100%. Well, in fact, we know he's not 100% because he missed a couple games. Did he? I think he was in the lineup last night, but he missed 2 games before that. But Bellinger being out hurts. So he's on a 1-year, for those non-Cubs fans, he's on a 1-year deal. So it's kind of one of those where if they're not playing, you have to trade him. But if they're competing, you have to keep him. I mean, if they are in the race at the trade deadline, you have to keep Bellinger, in my opinion. But he's basically I think Pete Crow Armstrong is ready for 2024. In fact, I think he might, depending on how this season goes, I think we might see Pete Crow Armstrong in Chicago this year. I think he's proven at spring training with the big league squad. He made several big plays. He hit big league pitching. I think he's ready. So Bellinger was it's the perfect bridge. You signed Bellinger to a 1-year deal, and he actually outperformed what most people thought he would before he got hurt. If the Cubs aren't performing, trade Bellinger and keep Mike Tauchman in center, and then eventually bring Pete Crow Armstrong up maybe in August. It's a good time where you're not competing. There's not pressure on him. If the Cubs are competing, you can keep him in the minor leagues to get seasoning. You keep Bellinger, and you try to hit that wild card spot. And then in the off season, you think Pete Crow's ready. You see Cody Bellinger walk. That's my thought. Card Hobbyist says, I need to finish watching your interview with Victor. Loved the bargain box talk. Now you're speaking my love language. Where are we at? New coffee time. That's where we're at. Where are we at? By the way, Madison Card Show is this Saturday, 9 to 3, Sheraton Hotel on John Nolen Drive. I still do have a few tables remaining. It's kind of a combination. I've got openings when normally I wouldn't. It's a combination of people being scared of the Form S-240 that is now required by event promoters like myself in the state of Wisconsin to have dealers fill out. That's scaring some dealers away. And it's also summer months. I think I'd be much closer. If it weren't for the damn Department of Revenue forms, I'd be much closer to a sellout. But that's this Saturday. Still over 100 tables booked. I think I'm at 105 capacity. Well, I found out a couple months ago by overbooking, we could actually do 140. But we don't want the fire marshal coming in and shutting it down because I don't know if that met fire code the other couple months ago. But I think I'm at 105 booked tables for this Saturday. Baez is amazing at tagging people out. Amazing, I say. Rich says, thank you. It was fun doing that. It's all or nothing on Home Run Derby. Bruce Bell in the house. What's up? Have you spoke with Ethan recently? If so, how is the rehab progressing? Yeah. Ethan and I, we chat back and forth about every day. He's doing really well. He does post sometimes if you're not following him on Twitter, he does post some stuff on Twitter on his progress. He's done some videos. His last tweet, check it out. This was funny. This was actually in our Cubs chat that we're in. One of the guys said, Ethan, you need to get a shirt that says not that kind of rehab. And so he actually ordered it from Obvious Shirts and wore it to one of his rehab outings last week. So check that out. Not that kind of rehab. So he's doing well. Not sure on his timeline back. He's recovering from Tommy John, but he is making some great progress. Let's see. He's not. I think he's throwing I think he's up to mid 90s, like 95 miles per hour. But that's not his. Like he can probably hit 100, but they won't let him. So he's not 100% capacity yet, but he's getting close. Zach says, I'd expect you apology if I thought you would not do it again. Mark says, I'm okay, John. The Mets are in my blood. Cub Commodities. Hey, I like that. Well, I do and I don't. I like the term, but I don't like the meaning. Bo, please release the playoff ticket funds. It's time. Facebook group at 275. In old Topps terms, that would be a star player. Yeah, Hobby Evolution Facebook group really grew. People wanted to know why. It really grew after why selling low-end singles is not worth your time. And by the way, I'll reiterate, it might not be worth your time. It's still worth my time. So, but I just wanted to get it out there that it's not all that it's cracked up to be. It's not like I'm hanging out, on my yacht, driving my Ferrari, and I got all this free time on my hands. No, it's a freaking grind. It's like 10 hours Sunday. I spent 10 hours shipping and listing and shipping. So that's, there's sacrifices. So if you got a bunch of kids, if you've got activities, if you have other hobbies, it might not be worth your time. I don't have I don't have kids and I don't have other hobbies. So I have most of my day to be devoted to my cards. Hall of Fame card collector, good morning. I just shipped 10 orders out from when I was sleeping. Isn't that the best? Waking up and looking at your eBay and it's like, poof, 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 poof. I love those early morning wake-up calls. But we need to get to 300, which is superstar Topps level. Herman in the house and Cooters in Smoky, Minnesota. Cooter brings up a point. It's hazy here. So yesterday morning, it was cold, chilly. It was chilly. Well, cold. It's cold. If it's below like 60, it's freaking cold, especially in June. So it was cold yesterday morning. I mean, I was wearing a long sleeve and I am today. I'm wearing shorts though. And I was wearing jeans. I was wearing long pants and long sleeve shirt. And it was cold yesterday morning. But then it warmed up. So it got up to like, cause the earlier this week, it was like in the 60s and low 70s. So it warmed up to like the mid 80s yesterday. And so with that, I thought came like that, when a warm front comes in and it creates some haze, and especially with like humidity. So that's what I thought it was, because by the afternoon, I'm like, whoa, it warmed up. And then as I was driving out of my neighborhood, I see to the north, boy, it's really hazy. Must be humid. It's like, but it's not humid. Cooter mentioned something. And then I got an update on my phone that said something like, what did it say? We are experiencing, I don't know if it's still air quality alert. Yeah. So we're at air quality index. Is this new? Like, I never heard of an air quality index until like the last month. So we've got an air quality alert, unhealthy for sensitive groups. Our air quality is 147. Apparently that's not good. So more wildfires, I guess. I thought I thought those were tempered a little bit. And it wasn't as bad as it was before, but maybe not. John says, when is the last time you had to pull a card from box one? I'm getting a lot of sales and offers lately for some early listings of mine. So here's the thing about box one. Well, here's the thing about all of my inventory. It's kind of mixed. So just because it's some of my cards in box one, I just added a couple of weeks ago. Because what I do is, and I have space right now, is when I sell a bunch of cards, I move everything up. So this tab can go like this row, boom, boom, boom. So I'm just going to move this row over. So 1AA is currently in row 4. Now it's in row 3. It looks like I've got space for A, B, and AC. Boom. So now I've got room for so currently my last tab in box 1 is tab AJ. So HIJKL. So I can go K and L. So I'll go box 1 tab AK and AL. And I could do that today. Where, in fact, box 1, though, is not my oldest box. I think box 2 is actually the oldest box. And you're thinking, why did you start with box 2? Because I think I had box 1 and I just didn't name it box 1. I didn't start until box 2 with my current SKU system. Oh, wait, yes, I did. So my current SKU system wasn't my current SKU system. It was when I was tinkering with tabs. So it was tab A1, which I just put in the item title, which was a freaking disaster. I only had one tab, A1, only tab. Then I did B010418 Batman, because I listed some Batman cards. And then I did B010418 baseball. And then I did B010419 baseball. Well, here's the problem with that. That's freaking annoying. And when you're reading out B0, and then you've got a lot of thinking to do. And I think Paul Carl gave me the idea to keep it simple. KISS method. Keep it simple, stupid. I wasn't keeping it simple. And many times, I think that was also pre-Card Dealer Pro, now I'm listing 10, 11, 12 tabs a day. So I'd have to do B010418 baseball 1, baseball 2. So unfortunately, that only lasted those 3 tabs. And then I started the new method where it's and then I did another method where it was box 2, row 1, tab A. And so as I finished, and then I'm like, well, I might have 2 open rows and I'm not utilizing space correctly. So then I wiped out row, and now it's just box 2 or box 1 tab A, box 1 tab B. And then once I run out of the alphabet, it's box 1 tab AA, AB. And then when I run out of double letters, it's box AAA. AAB. Only one box has gone to triple letters. Box 6. Right here. Box 6 is at box 6 tab AAC. I must put some good stuff in there because it sells. So that's how I do it. So then I just, like I said, I just consolidate and then it moves up. So, in every box I consolidate. So it's not really indicative of, the only thing that's really indicative of when I listed it is if it's in box 2, where it's box. And I think John mentioned, this is just rambling on about his simple question. John says, I'm getting a lot of sales and offers lately for some early listings. And I have sold. And I actually noticed, John, that's a great point you bring up, because I've actually noticed this myself in the last few days. I've sold from box 2, row 1, tab A. And I'm like, wow, 2-1A. Now that's an early, that's from April of last year. So 15 months ago. And I've sold a few cards out of that row here recently. So that's a great point. And yes, I've seen the same out of some of my stuff. AA cards in the house. What's up? Good morning. Mark Marinello says, I started a Jets in the Super Bowl fund in 1992. Think I could buy a summer home with the money I've saved. Your cabinets remind me of Joey's cabinet on Friends. Oh, in the kitchen. Oh, on the photo in the kitchen. I'm trying to think. So those cabinets, so they're not. So what John is speaking to. So the new cabinets. So the one that I think you're speaking of in the middle, where it looks like one tall cabinet, those are actually doors. And behind those doors is a butler's pantry. How wicked is that? It's like a secret hidden passage. So those long, what appear to be long cabinets. So on the left, I think the fridge goes on the left, and then I think the oven goes on the right. Yeah, because the stovetop's over there. The oven goes on the right-hand side. So yeah, in the middle, there's like a room back there. There's a room behind that. It's the butler's pantry. So the previous photo, and you're like, well, how? That was a wall there before. So we knocked down that wall there. And that used to be in the previous, that was a powder room. The powder room was actually behind. So in the first picture, if you're on Twitter, in the first picture, you have the fridge on the far right, and then like just cabinets. And then behind where like the fridge was, that was the powder room. So we moved that, and that became the butler's pantry, and then it's kicked out, and then the powder room is actually on the new picture where like the archway was. That was a wall, where the archway was to the right of where one of the open slots is. That's where the powder room is now. So where we at? Good morning, Talking Tatis. Red light 34, you better let someone hang the TV, not you. Oh, you, hell yeah, you know it. I'm not hanging that TV. I am not hanging that TV. None of them. So we got a quote from Best Buy, because it's like one of our friends who does like audio video, like he owns his own like audio video cable company, and he like does all of our simple stuff that most people can do on their own. He does that for us. And he said it's probably cheaper just to have Best Buy. If you buy the TVs from Best Buy, it's cheaper to have them install it, and it's kind of not. So we're like toying with the fact, do we just have somebody do it, buy them from Costco? Because Costco has some good deals on TVs. So Box 13 rip. Box 13 should be made into a bronze statue and put into Cooperstown. F in chat for Box 13. Good morning from Chavez Ravine's hindquarters. What's up, Angel Baby Cards in the house? Paul Heath, good morning. Raphael is here. It's 5:28 in Central California. Good morning. Get that coffee going. John currently has 2 out of 3 cars that are well past their annual inspections. Do you have annual inspections in Pennsylvania? Johnny Boy Cards, good morning. Flipping Sports Guy says, I love the Mets and their fans with the annual meltdown, although the meltdown did come quite early this year. Yeah. The boys in the locker room refer to my nether regions as my Japan package. Ashish, what's up? Good morning. Mark Marinello says, what's Mark Marinello say? We skipped too far ahead. Where's Mark Marinello? Shit. Where we at? There we are. My life is similar to the movie Fever Pitch, but I would have never turned down going to Paris with Drew Barrymore. Zach says we have emissions testing in Wisconsin. We do? Do we have to do that on our own? I've never heard that. Or is that something they just do when we take it for an oil change? Yeah, you're good. Let's see. Belly sure let us down. Yeah, he kind of struggled. She says nobody cares about the Cubs. There's at least one other person that cares about the Cubs in the chat. Good morning, Tigers 727. The Tigers have 1 win in the month of June. I assume the Cubs have that beat. Well, we've had 2 this week. 2 this week. Rich says that's why the saying is there is only good things in a 1-year contract. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Have you explored an IV drip coffee delivery system? That'd be great. That would be great. Shane says, do dealers have to report how much they made during the show? No. So there's so much confusion, and I'm trying to I've got to draft a letter for Saturday's show. I'm getting messages like, do I have to report my earnings? Do I have to have a seller's permit? And all I need, so if you are a dealer at the show, the only thing that's required, I've got a Form S-240. It's basically your name, address, email address. It does want your last 4 of your social security number, which I know is a bitch, but it's the law. It's literally a freaking law in the state of Wisconsin, which sucks. That's all I need. I don't need to know how much you sold, anything like that. You don't even need a seller's permit. Now, the state could come back to me. The Department of Revenue could be like, hey, Shane Koopman's set up at your show. He doesn't have, he needs a seller's permit. Maybe they do. Maybe they look into you. I don't know. I don't know what they do. They could come to me and say, hey, he needs a seller's permit. And then I could say, screw you, Department of Revenue. And then they could say, screw you. Here's a fine. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So basically what I tell people is I don't require a seller's permit. I don't need to know how much you make, anything like that. I just have a form you'll fill out. It's basic personal information. I turn that over to the Department of Revenue, and then they do whatever with it they see fit. If you have any questions beyond that, you have to ask them, Wisconsin Department of Revenue. And I know most people don't want to ask the Wisconsin Department of Revenue. So then you just don't get answers. So, because I don't have them. So there's a lot of confusion, which is just making it more of a pain in the ass for me, which is fine. It is what it is, right? It's the law. You got to follow the law and do everything on the up and up and all that. So here we are. John says every business should report what they make. No rules have changed. This isn't unique to the hobby. PCA may be ready to come up and contribute for the Cubs, but he will never be ready to sign for you. I know. Here's the thing. He signed for me twice. He signed for me at spring training last year, signed a ball for me, and then he signed a card. I made a custom card that says Little Big League because his mom was in Little Big League. His dad's also an actor. His dad was in, remember the TV show Heroes? His dad was in that show. And I didn't realize it because, everybody talks about his mom being in Little Big League. But his dad, and then I'm like, oh, I'm going to see what his dad was in. It's like his dad's an actor too. Well, what was his dad in? And then it's like Heroes. And I remember watching Heroes. And so I looked up his character. Matthew John Armstrong is his real name, who, by the way, is from Chicago. Went to Naperville Central High School, where he played football and was a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the DuPage Valley Conference. So he's actually, Pete Crow Armstrong's dad often gets mistaken for the cavemen from the Geico commercials. And then when I saw his character in Heroes, it's like, oh yeah, I totally see it. And I guess his mom also was in Heroes. She played Sandra Bennett on Heroes. Claire Bennett's adoptive mother and the ex-wife of Noah Bennett. I'm sure there's somebody in the chat that's watched Heroes. Matthew, Pete Crow Armstrong's mom was the mom in Little Big League, and she was also Sandra Bennett in the show Heroes. His dad was also in Heroes, and he played, trying to find the character. Let's just type in Matthew. Ted Sprague, who has the ability to generate and manipulate radiation, which he only discovers after being abducted by the Haitian. At first, he has very little control over his power and is extremely destructive, causing such harmful side effects as radiation poisoning, which ends up killing his wife. When he gains better control over his ability, Ted realizes he is also able to produce an EMP when necessary. He was eventually brutally killed by Siler. Oh, he was the bad guy. And his corpse left behind after Siler caused a car accident that killed his captors and left him hanging upside down by himself. Spoiler alert! Hopefully you didn't want to go back and watch Heroes. So, Pete Crow Armstrong, mom and dad, both actors. There you go. And he had, I made a custom card, and it says Little Big League, and it has a picture of him, and also, and then at the bottom, a picture of his mom. And he signed it for me, and then I'm like, you think your mom would sign? If I saw your mom, do you think she would sign? And he just like didn't even look at me, didn't even look up, and he just says just no guarantees, just like that. Like, I thought he would at least say, hey, this is pretty cool. No, wasn't having it. PCA wasn't having it. He's like, dude, you're 40 years old asking me for my autograph. That's probably what he was thinking. Scott Nelson, my buddy Scott's in the house. You're missing the joy and expense of kids. Yeah, I'm not missing any of that, because I see my friends with kids and I'm like, Jesus, how in the hell do you do it? Oh my God, the pooping, the crying, the drama. Because then they grow, it's like, well, they get out of the baby phase and then they're the cute kid phase. Yeah, and then they become fucking teenagers. Oops, I said it again. I said the F word. Then they become teenagers and they're like drama and they hate you. Oh, the awkward junior high, like the puberty phase. Because I remember that myself, like, Jesus, I was such an awkward weirdo kid. And then you're just a bitchy high school kid. And then you fleece your parents for all that college money. You make your parents broke going to college. If you're like me and you're not smart enough to get scholarships, to take out loans, ask hey mom, can I get $20 for a case of Busch Light? I need a 30 of Stones. I'm out of money. I need a 30 of Stones. Yeah. Uncle Rich, he's taken off. Thank you, Uncle Rich. Let's see. Shane says, yes, I know you were technically supposed to. Technically, no, you were legally supposed to. But I mean, do you have to with the show on that form? No, you do not. The form is not for any income reporting, anything like that. It's purely a personal information. It's name, address, phone number, social security number. Not your full social, just the last 4 of your social security. I need to make sure that. And if you have a seller's permit, that number. That's it. And you don't need a seller's permit. At least I don't require it. So, no. John says it's 3 million degrees in Orlando, 175% humidity. Oh, I would love that. I love humidity, and I've said it a lot. And I know it's weird, but hey, it's who I am. If that's your love language, do you get turned on by that? Joking. Well, sometimes. Paul Carl in the house. Good morning. Air quality always in question near Guaranteed Rate Park. Air quality alert. Tiger 727. I never heard of it either. I have my opinions about it, but I will leave that for another conversation. Do you have a triple E tab? Dan says, what's up, Dan? Good morning. Shipping overview from last night. 5 bubble mailers, 42 PWE, and a medium flat rate box. What does your shipping breakdown look like on a typical day? Usually about 105 PWE and 5 bubble mailers. I don't do lots or sets, so I don't do flat. I rarely do flat rate boxes just because I don't do, lots. Everything is basically singles in my store. But my PWE goes up to like 12. I'll put up to 12 cards in a PWE. So just because it's in a PWE doesn't mean it's a single card transaction. Joe just had my very first 15 card order. 3 had been the most up until now. Awesome. 5x the previous high. You gotta love it. Tinkering with tabs meant spending quality time with Father Tabarelli during CCD. You can be arrested for tinkering with tabs. Morning, George. I said good evening, George, and good night, George. Sorry, a leak from my therapy session that is covered by doctor-patient confidentiality. Regretting I asked about box 1. I went into more details than you probably would have wanted, but he sure is passionate about his tabs. Dan does box A, section 1 in the custom SKU, and it has been awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't start with only 4-row boxes. 50% are 2-row versus 4-row boxes. And it's pretty crucial. I have some 5, like these boxes here. These are divided by, my original method was year and set, but I screw it up all the time. And I'm like, there's multiple cards in here that I've got screwed up, like Panini products that I was just 19, and I've got some 20s in there. I think there's some Gypsy Queens that are screwed up. I've got 2020 Topps inserts that are in a 2019. But now it's like I just got to keep them there because now I know, it's a 2020 insert. Oh, I know this is in the 2019, where it's like otherwise I would go, it's like I can't find it. Where's it at? So yeah, I do all 4 rows. In fact, now I've moved everything over to 4-row boxes. And I use any 5-row boxes. Like if I have, when I'm consolidating Cub stuff, if it's in a 5-row box, I put it down in a 4-row box, and I use the 5-row for like a bulk when I'm bulking stuff out, which hopefully we get a deal tomorrow. If not, I'm effed because I've got my SUV filled with my bulk, but I need space for my bargain boxes for Saturday's card show. And I'll be pissed if I have to squeeze more boxes in every nook and cranny in my cart because I don't have space for it. Zach wants to go back to Cubs talk. He did not like tab talk. Tab talk apparently would not be a popular topic for Hobby Evolution. Paul says, why not add more cards to existing tabs rows instead of adding new tabs and moving cards? I could, but it's the only thing I guess I would be saving would be, I have done that once, and it's when the tab, because I like tabs being as minimal as possible, but it's not efficient when I list, right? So going back, and if I have a tab like 1AD is smaller, so it takes a lot less time to look for cards. Where if I added 100 cards to tab 1AD, now I've got 150 cards. And it takes a lot longer, so it becomes less efficient, even though I'm spending money because I do buy the tabs. Although I bought a big case of them, although I'm running out, need to buy more. So that's why I want to keep the tabs with as few cards as possible, but at the same time, it's got to be efficient from a listing process where I don't want to just list 20 cards. That's why it takes me, it cuts the fewer cards in a tab, creates far less time to look for cards in that tab. More tab talk. John says Mark will be able to buy a Super Bowl commercial spot before he buys a Jets Super Bowl ticket. Yeah, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to take the Jets to the promised land. Scott says, do you have a butler? No, I wish. I wish we had a butler. I bet Butler's Pantry sounds like it's an outdated. It sounds like it's an outdated term. Where are we at? Do you refill a tab when it sells down instead of creating new tabs? I create new tabs. Unless it sells down to like, I think I have one. I've had a couple tabs where it pretty much sold down to like nothing. Then I will reuse that and I'll just do, if it's down to like under 10 cards, it's like, okay, I'm going to reuse this tab. But if it's like down to, so typically most of my tabs are 100. I'm boring 75% of the viewers, 85% of the viewers. If it's down to like 50, I'm going to keep it. But if it's down to like 10, 15, then I will, this batch is going to go tab 1 AD. So I like the one light bulb and the 3 headlight fixture over the island. Shabby chic is what they call that. Scott says the card business must be great. John Passaro, what's up? Why not put cards in boxes in chronological order of listing? Because then you have, because it's not, so it's not, I'm trying to find the words here, because it's not really conducive per se, because I may sell, say box 1. I may sell a few cards out of box 1 and I'm not consolidating, but I have space. It's trying to limit my space, right? Using as less space possible. So basically, if I have a 1,000 cards I want to list, I'm just going to go to each box. Okay, what can I consolidate so I don't have to add more to it? If I put the cards in chronological order, I'm wasting space because I may have box 6 was a hot selling box, but if I leave that and I keep going, I'm wasting a lot of space. And so there's always going to come a time where, okay, well, box 3 has more space, box 8 has more space, box 7. And, it's more about space than it is about being chronological. There's no reason for me to be chronological. It's not saving me time. It's not saving me money. It's not saving me space. So that's why. JW in the house. Good morning. I care about the Cubs, but because of my Sandberg cards, LOL, just being honest. Hey, that's okay. Dane County is exempt from emissions testing. The irony of the state capital not having to conform is not lost. You are clear for now. That's interesting. That is really interesting. Bo just has to be a government informant. His responsibility ends after he narcs. Essentially, yes. That's exactly what they want event promoters to do. Bo canceling Amazon search for home emissions testing doohickey. Cooter says the state wants to list to make sure they receive sales tax reports from the sellers you listed. Yep. What Cooter said. He said it much better than I. The only reason they are hiring 80K more IRS agents is to go after the small card show dealers. It's sickening. Card show dealers. And it's not just card shows. It's other temporary events. Your kid's bake sale. That's what's coming next. IRS isn't involved with Bo. It's state tax. Yes, it is not the IRS. It is the Department of Revenue in Wisconsin. So, by the way, this law is on the books in Illinois. It's just not, letters aren't being sent. And I had no idea. I've done shows in Illinois for 15, 20 years. Not a single time. And I've done shows all over the place. Not a single time was I asked for any information beyond what's your name? What is your name? And same here in Wisconsin. Law was on the books, but nobody really followed. I know, some people had said, oh, I had to do that like 20 years ago or 30 years ago, but not in the last 7 or 8 years that I've been here. Oh, shit, 9 years. Let's see. I thought PCA kept avoiding you. Well, that's good. Well, he has. He kept avoiding me this year at spring training. He avoided me several times last year, but I was able to get, I think I snuck in and was able to sneak in a ball. Let's see. Honestly, I have no problem with a permit and or paying taxes. Back in 0506, I had to get a load of permits for my small catering truck just to sell burritos and microwave pizza. Pay your damn taxes, says John. America needs your money. Patriots disappear suddenly when it's time to pay your fair share. I know, right? The Patriots are by the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, and all those 400-year-old documents, but when it comes to tax time, all of a sudden it's crickets. Zach and Porter says, Bo, the more I think about it, you should probably still get your emissions tested for the betterment of society. Do us a solid. Too many taxes depending where you live. I'm not going to disagree with that. Not at all. John, think I'll be able to buy the Jets before buying a Super Bowl ticket. Ed Sprague played for the Blue Jays. Let's see. John says, people need to understand taxes before discussing taxes. Absolutely. That's why I don't talk about taxes. That's why I don't talk about taxes. When people ask questions, talk to a tax professional, because I am not one, and neither is a Facebook group. And for some reason, it's like driving by a car accident or smelling spoiled milk. That's what Facebook groups on taxes are. You really don't, that milk smells nasty, but you're going to sniff away. You can't avoid it. Just like me clicking on those tax questions in a Facebook group, because I'm just going to drop my head in amazement. Let's see. Now I know why PCA hates you. It's that custom card, right? It's like, oh, this is the bastard that made a card of my mom. Let's see. If it's a business, let it be a business. Flawed thinker, it's governments, plural. Wikipedia is free. Maybe check it out. Zach loves being a dad. That 70s card show, just speaking in general. Almost all normal teenagers kind of hate their parents. Ask me how I knew this back then. Did you see on Twitter the wrestling autograph hunters at the airport where they were asking the guy to sign the pictures and they kept throwing the pictures on the ground to sign more? Yes, I think that was with Jeff Hardy. That's a very small amount of graphers give every autograph seeker a bad name, and it sucks. Thinking general is kind of why society is on the shoulder of the road with their flashers on. We need more non-general thinkers. Zach has a confession. Where's it at? I never watched this on a PC, listened to it on my phone. I've never been able to tell which box is box 13. It has not hurt my enjoyment on the channel. I have my BVDs filled with my bulk. Not really. Tab talk is the best talk, says Paul. Makes sense. I'm guessing CDP uses the same custom label for each batch scanned. On Card Dealer Pro, I name my batches what I'm naming the tab. So say tab AK is next. Tab 1AK, that'll be my batch in Card Dealer Pro. So I named the batch 1AK in Card Dealer Pro. So it's easy to go back. If I need to go back and refer to a previous batch, I can go back and I can find 1AK. It also, because I have short-term memory, when I forget after I edit the spreadsheet, I can go back when I go to upload it. I know, tab AK. So, and then when I export the spreadsheet from Card Dealer Pro, in the custom label SKU column, I will put tab 1, box 1, tab AK. And then copy and paste that down. Flawed Thinker says, I don't sell enough to have tabs, just a few hundred cards at a time in a 2-row. And that's fine. That's how when I started, I just had my early on, well, not early on, but like when I started selling on eBay again about 9-10 years ago, I just had like a 500 count box because I only had, it was probably a 200 or 300 count box. So I only had, random cards here and there. And then as I started listing more and more, I went to a 4-row box, 5-row box. Then I started, okay, now and then it was by sport. And then I went to, I think, football. Oh, and then I went football and basketball went to alphabetized. And I still before I went to the tab system, but A, and then I went from A to AB, AC, AK, AM. in that. And then I went to the tab system that I do now, and it's worked swimmingly. John says lab rats died drinking tab in the 1970s. My dad drank tab. Ironically, my dad died also. Okay. Tab is disgusting. Nasty. The only two guarantees in life, death and Bo pushing for tax documentation at card shows in a country that doesn't require in a county that doesn't require emission testing. Let's see. He said it much more eloquently than I. Bo will require emissions inspection stickers from dealers going forward. The amount of laws not enforced probably dwarf the laws that are enforced, says someone once charged for mopery. For those Revenge of the Nerds fans. Scott says, what do you think the Boston Tea Party was all about? Patriots. Bo needs to do something. What does Bo need to do? Bo needs to dump his cards in Lake Monona in protest. Never. The Tea Party was over what? Like a 2% tax. Now look how much they bleed from us. Add the tax conversion to my very long list of reasons I stay off fraud book. Tea Party may have been a taxation without representation thingy. Please read things. Lake Mendota. There is a Lake Monona. It's spelled differently, though. Lake Mendota, Lake Monona. I think if you were to make a statement in Madison by dumping things in a lake, it would probably be Mendota. It's the bigger lake. That's where the, what's the thing called? The UW, what's it called? What's the thing called? Along Lake Mendota. For college students. Where college students go. It's on Lake Mendota. Let's see. I combined two lakes into one for efficiency. There is a Lake Monona as well. Bo drives his e-bike all around those when collecting his neighbor's taxes. Are you content with your volume of sales? Also, if space wasn't an issue, do you have the itch to sell more, make more? I am not content. No, I'll never be content with my volume of sales. Do I have the itch to sell more, make more? Hell yeah. I'm a capitalist, baby. Let's see. Where are we at? Angel Baby says, tab did suck. Just saying. Mom like it. She died like all the rest of those aging hipsters did. My next YouTube video will be on Civics 101. I think I'll skip that one. In your opinion, what are the iconic cards of this era? That's tough because I don't think you can have iconic cards of a current era. I mean, maybe like from 2010 on, you can probably have some like Mike Trout, rookie card, Topps update. I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't know. Wander Franco's true rookie card. Before I go heavy with investing in a few key players, I need to read on the best players for my coffers. The Union. Thank you, Zach. The Union. Yes, the UW Union. Just take my boxes of cards and dump them in Lake Mendota from the Union. Let's see. Got that 2019 Heritage Baseball Wander Franco box topper. There will be no more iconic cards moving forward. I think the Trout Ohtani golf cart card is an iconic card. Well, at least my favorite. They need more like that. That was a pretty cool card. Angel Baby says, I predict 2018 Topps Baseball Aaron Judge rookie. The Frisbee golfer cards are pretty iconic. 41 days, says the bargain boxer. He must be counting down to the National. 41 days. So we'll do a get-together. We'll do a Couch People get-together Saturday at the National. Let's just plan on Shoeless Joe's. Shoeless Joe's Saturday after the National. Couch People get-together. Halfway to Christmas. It's the Couch People halfway to Christmas party. We did the Couch People Christmas party in December. We'll do a halfway to Christmas party at the National. Saturday, the National. So Shoeless Joe's, it's just down the street. It's like a block away. Actually, no, I think it's like 2 or 3 blocks away. Randy will see us at Shoeless Joe's. Awesome. So, yeah, I know a lot of people from the chat will be at the National, so hopefully everybody can stick around Saturday after the show. Oh, I was going to show off some cards. We got talking about taxes. Taxes? We got talking about taxes and tabs. What a shitty show today. Oh man. If you got this far, I'm sorry. Don't watch this one. All he talks about is how he sorts his cards and taxes. I apologize. Let's end it on a high note, not talking about taxes and frickin' how I organize my frickin' cards. I bought, and you may have seen the video, I bought some Cubs autographs out of a Facebook group. There are and a lot of Cubs talk too. Well, here's Cubs cards. Tracy, good morning. I bought this out of, so there is good things about a Facebook group. I can find great deals on Cubs cards. So I pulled a lot of 50 Cubs autos, Ryan Jensen first chrome refractor. I paid $4 a card for these. Scott McKeon purple paper of $250. How about this? A cut auto, Billy Herman. I don't know who made these. Signature cut authentic autograph. I think it's like a custom. Which I'm thinking, so this was given to me by one of my wife's clients. It's a page of autographs from 1935. Cubs autographs include Gabby Hartnett, Charlie Grimm, Lon Warneke, Ray Henshaw, Walter Stevenson, Billy Herman, the aforementioned, Fabian Kowalski, Hugh Casey. So I'm kind of thinking about cutting those and like having custom, like similar to this, made of those autographs. Those cut autos look a little janky. These or the Billy Herman? The Gabby Hartnett, I can actually cut. The Gabby Hartnett and the Charlie Grimm, I can cut and legit. There's a couple of these though, it would be tough because they like, I'd have to like cut autos. I kind of like, I've kind of like, if they're like this, I kind of like them. I've seen some that look janky. So as long as they don't look janky. So I got Cohen Moreno, chrome yellow out of 75, a bunch of Cade Hortons, James Triantos. This is numbered out of 5. Triantos and Seiya Suzuki, kind of an odd combo. Right now, hey, maybe James Triantos comes up and he shares the outfield with Seiya Suzuki in a couple of years. Then it'd be a pretty cool auto. Owen Casey, Pro Set auto of 35. This is cool. Nico Horner, Museum Collection, patch auto. Christian Hernandez. I love some of Leafs cards. Christian Hernandez, Leaf Vivid auto out of 40. Here's a Nico out of 49, patch auto with a pinstripe. Justin Steele, first chrome auto. I paid $4 per auto. So those are some. I won't show them all. I do have a video on my YouTube channel that does show all of them, so you can check that out. So, shit. What else did I get? So that came in the mail on Monday, I think. Yesterday. Well, shit. Where'd it go? I also got a Ed Howard 1 of 1 that I can't. What the hell? That I can't find. Anyway. Oh, it's in my pocket. It's in my pocket. So I bought this on eBay. Ed Howard Elite Extra Edition 1 of 1 auto. So Ed Howard has recovered from his injuries. He's back at South Bend Cubs, and they're coming back to Beloit in I think 2 weeks. So I'm going to go back down there and check out the South Bend Cubs in a couple weeks. Okay, so now we're going to wrap it up. Some little cards to show off to end the show. Where are we at? I'm driving down Saturday morning, driving back after the get-together. Excellent. Any Mantle X cards in those boxes? I don't think so. Those cut autos look a little janky. Cut autos, doofus. Frame that picture to put into your office behind you. It can become the new Box 13. Leaf created a series of autograph cards a while back. Could never afford them, but I did manage a Ken Griffey auto. You know less about hobby terminology than some here know about how taxation works. Flawed thinker has an unflawed idea. Frame that sheet of autos and hang it where you can enjoy it. Flawed thinker says anything that is cheap and for the PC is a win. Hell yeah. Angel Baby says, kind of happens when volume sales trump quality sales. This is how Bo spends 14 hours a day searching for shit. That there's some truth in that. Take a pill on what to do with your sheet of Cubs autos. I say frame it. Really? So here's my thing though. Only half of these are Cubs autos. It is kind of cool. Maybe you're right. The top half are like minor league. I think they're Madison Blues that were like a low level, and none of those guys made it to the big league. So only half of these are Cubs. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a Twitter poll. What should I do? Should I cut these autos and have them custom into cards? And then I could add them to my Cubs count. See? Little cheat right there. Turning a page of Cubs autos into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more cards for the collection. I don't know. But I probably will. This is, I don't know what this is. I think this is the All-Stars. This is out of a newspaper. This is a different sheet of paper, but it's on the other side. This was in like a scrapbook. What I want to do is the guy that gave me this stuff also had every box score of the 1935 World Series that the Cubs played in. And I would like to do like a big frame with that, maybe find a ticket stub in a program. And I think this might be a team picture from 1935. Oh, and it's, I don't want to unfold it here because I don't have much space and I don't want to tear it up. Those papers are fragile. So yeah. Where are we at? I'm going to wrap things up. Let's see. Bargain Boxer says poll. Where are we at? He says take a poll. I said take a pill. I'm like, what's take a pill mean? Take a poll on what to do with your sheet of Cubs autos. He says frame it. So yeah, maybe I should do a poll. Frame it or cut autos to create cut auto cards. After 14 years of heavy collecting, I tend to collect for the Hall of Fame and pristine quality, but that's just me. That's like cutting up the Declaration of Independence because only half the dudes were from New England. If it were like a photo, it's just a piece of paper. Just like the Declaration of Independence. Dare I say it? Dare I go there? I'm not going to go there. I don't want to piss anybody off any more than I already have. When I doubt myself, I just hug my PSA 10 Fleer Jordan rookie. Ooh. Floating heads. Angel Baby's kidding. He's just dreaming. Scott wants an education about taxes from that 70s card show. And John says, pay them. Lesson over. Well, that's to the point. Let's see. Paul says, reduce them as much as legally possible, then pay them. Hey, I like that answer better. And find every loophole possible. Get yourself a good accountant that can find every loophole while keeping you out of jail. I say keep it as one and frame it. Don't cut it up. Okay, I think we've got 2 or 3 votes for keeping it intact. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to do some shipping. Maybe do some shipping and listing today. Shipping and listing and shipping. Did I add? I think I did add a couple hundred cards to my eBay store yesterday. Links in the description to the chat or description to the video. So check that out. Like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the eBay store. All that fun stuff. So I'm going to take off. Tomorrow's a free for all Friday. So we're going to play Name That Player tomorrow. I think we're going to do the same as last week. I'm just going to grab a stack. Maybe we'll give it a... You know what? I want to do modern. You know what? Maybe I will go. I'm getting the itch to rip some new stuff. So maybe I'll go buy a couple blasters of like Series 2 and we'll do like a modern. We haven't done modern. It might, so I might have to have a junk wax pack on hand because if we do modern, it might not go over well. eBay awaits, Angel Baby. Bo, if you can't find your glasses, reach out. I can help. All right. Have a great day. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.